That's right, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Mathias. All right, we are going to start out with any changes, amendments, or deletions to the agenda, board members. Any? No? No? All right, seeing none, we are at approval of minutes.
Recommend approval of the minutes from the school board workshop, October 17th, 2018, and regular school board meeting, October 22nd, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Second to Mr. Campbell. Discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, we're on our representation, our attendance month award spotlight. Superintendent, do you want to call anybody up to do that?
We'll call Ms. Owens back as she brings forward our spotlight for this evening.
Lake County School District is a place where our students are always learning and growing into the leaders of tomorrow. In September, our district joined others across the country in recognizing Attendance Awareness Month. We pledged to raise awareness about the importance of regular school attendance and focus on reducing chronic absenteeism throughout the year. Nationally, 7.5 million students miss nearly a month of school every year. Starting as early as kindergarten, chronic absence predicts lower third-grade reading scores. By middle school, it's a warning sign that students will fail key classes and drop out of high school. So, led by our Student Services Department, we challenge students and families to team up for attendance. Pine Ridge Elementary School created our local theme, Arrive, Strive, Thrive. We enjoyed Theme Week with special days like Hero Day, Crazy Hair Day, and Cheering for Perfect Attendance, where we wore our favorite team shirts and jerseys. Then, students from around the district entered our attendance awareness poster and video contest. Congratulations to our winners. Ryan Caridi of Pine Ridge Elementary won the poster contest in the K-2 category. Amy Lee Castro of Fruitland Park Elementary won for the 3rd through 5th category. Mia O'Farrell of Eastridge Middle School is our middle school winner. Savannah Dre of Eastridge High School is our high school winner. The winning video was submitted by South Lake High School students.
I'll think of you as I go. So when I leave, you're not alone. And no matter where we are, we will never be that far. 'Cause I will think of you as I go. I'll think of you as I dream. So when it's dark, you'll be with me. And no matter where we are, we can look up to the stars. And I will think of you as I dream. Oh, it's a long and winding road, but you don't have to walk alone. 'Cause no matter where we are, I will keep you in my heart, and I will think of you as I go. I'll think of you when I'm down, when my heart is on the ground, and I will never lose my way, even if the skies are gray. 'Cause I will think of you when I'm down. Oh, it's a long and winding road, but you don't have to walk alone. 'Cause no matter where we are, I will keep you in my heart, and I will think of you as I go. Oh, it's a long and winding road, but you don't have to walk alone. 'Cause no matter where we are, I will keep you in my heart, and I will think of you. Yes, I will think of you. Oh, I will think of you as I go.
We have some incredibly talented students, and that song is going to stick with you.
Lake County Schools is the destination.
There we go. We're very fortunate to have a few of our winners here with us today, and I'd like to ask Ms. Johnson and Ms. Mayuski to come up. They're going to introduce them to you all, if that's okay with you.
Thank you so much. It is our pleasure to have these students here with us tonight. When I call your name, we would love for you to come up. You've already seen their beautiful artwork, but we have that, and then we also have a gift for our students here. So first, I would like for Miss Ryan Caridi from Pine Ridge and Miss Obando. Please join her. From Fruitland Park Elementary, we have Amy Lee Castro. From Eastridge Middle School, we have Mia O'Farrell and Mr. Sidoric, her proud principal. And from Eastridge High School, we have Savannah Dre and Miss Franna, her assistant principal. And of course, from Southlake High School, we have two students. Joni Prasad was the singer. How about her voice in there? She was the featured singer. That was incredible. And we have Lauren Young, and they are accompanied by Mr. Spencer, who is graduating them in the video. So please come on.
So just to clarify, one of you sang that? That's incredible. I thought it was actually professionally recorded. Well done.
Isn't it incredible?
Yeah. That can be on iTunes later.
For a price? I don't know.
There you go. There's college right there.
And Ms.
Wow.
Mayuski, we would like the opportunity too, whenever the presentation's finished, if you guys, we're trying to figure out how to do this. Mr. Mathias, did you want to say something? No, I think. Oh, well, I was just going to have a stand up, and if you guys want to circle around the front, and we'll just shake your hands as you guys come by the front. That way we're all not trying to come out there, and you guys aren't trying to come back here. We just wanted the opportunity to congratulate you for your work on attendance. So if you could come this way, we'll shake your hand.
Great job.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you for mentoring. Excellent job. It was awesome. It was excellent. Very nice and well done, young lady. Well done, young lady. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That's just such a nice way to start the meetings, I should say. I really enjoyed that, our recognition, our district spotlight. So we don't have any public input cards this evening, so we have the attorney's report. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am. Two things. First of all, I sent you an email, but just so everyone's up to speed, the FEA United lawsuit against the Department of Education and all the counties, school boards in the state have got to a point where our involvement is going to be fairly limited from now on. There was a agreement by the FEA to dismiss 29 of the school board districts that were defendants. Who is left are some of the larger counties and the Department of Education. There still is a possibility for some claim to be brought against the individual school boards that were dismissed because it was not with prejudice, but as time goes on, some of those claims, or many of them, are going to be eliminated. And there's already a ruling, I believe, recovering damages is only going to be against FDOE. So the other 29 counties that are already out would only have some minimal liability for potentially attorney's fees, depending upon the outcome of the lawsuit. So that's the the stipulation was filed. I haven't seen the order yet dismissing Lake County, but I know that our stipulation was filed as well already, so we expect to see that fairly shortly. The other matter I needed to bring to your attention was that for the past 2 or 3, 4 years, my firm has represented LifeStream as well as the school board, and as a result of that, we have outsourced any review of the contracts between LifeStream and the school board on the basis of a potential conflict. Now, the conflict is that my firm does some real estate work for LifeStream. We haven't represented them, to my knowledge, in the last 4 or 5 years on any contractual matters, and certainly no matter involving the school board. I've been asked to approach LifeStream about waiving that potential conflict. I believe that Mr. Cherry doesn't have any objection to it, but I have not spoken directly to him about it. The waiver of that conflict, if the board also agreed to do that, would allow us to be involved with negotiating LifeStream's contracts. I don't see that it's any real conflict because having one of my partners do a couple of real estate closings for LifeStream doesn't give me any inside information as to how they're going to negotiate contracts with schools. So what I would ask is that the board consider waiving the conflict going forward in the future on the assumption that LifeStream will do the same, and then we'd be able to negotiate those contracts the same way as we do any others.
Okay. You're just telling us so that when it comes
No,
forward,
I'm asking you to do that now.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. Are we taking a vote on it, or are you asking for
No,
consensus?
this is an administrative matter that we are fine with voting on it as a vote.
Okay. Superintendent, you make a recommendation?
I'll make the motion.
There we go. Make a motion.
Okay. I make the motion that we use the law firm of Steve Johnson to both negotiate our contract, and I see
Macklin Burnset.
Macklin Burnset and Steve Johnson. Thank you for correcting me.
I take that you're making a motion to waive the conflict that we.
I was almost there. I was inches there. Yes.
I
to
knew
waive.
that was coming. I just wanted to
I
speed
just
it up.
wanted a moment to waive the conflict.
I'll second that.
Great. Is there any discussion, board members? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There you go, Mr. John.
Thank you, and I'll report to you the results of my conversation with Mr. Cherry, which hopefully will be tomorrow. And that's all I have, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Actually, I believe you're up next because we have one piece of unfinished business.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
we'll get to that. For the record, Ms. Luke has filed a Form 8B memorandum of voting conflict. It relates to a motion that occurred on October 22nd, 2018. Ms. Luke declined to vote on the basis that it potentially inured to the special gain or loss of her employer, the University of Central Florida. That's it.
That's all you have to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. All right, so we are on our consent agenda. Superintendent.
And I do need to note that item 10.01 is being pulled for no action. We'll be bringing that back to you now that Mr. Johnson's going to be able to work with their attorney, hopefully, as long as LifeStream also provides that waiver of conflict. So we'd like to bring that back to you at hopefully at the next meeting, once that's resolved. So therefore, I am recommending approval of items 8.01 to 9.03, 10.02 to 10.08.
Okay,
So
that's
moved.
fine. Thank you.
Second.
All those, or any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. We have one discussion item that's final approval of our student progression plan for 2018-2019.
Yes, ma'am. The matter before the board is final approval of the 2018-2019 Student Progression Plan. This is the final reading. If there's anyone here this evening that wishes to speak to this particular item, then we'd please come forward to the podium at this time. Madam Chairman, I don't see anyone coming forward and believe it appropriate to waive the further public hearing.
All right, Superintendent, did you have a recommendation for that?
Do I recommend final approval of the 18-19 student progression plan?
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. That was pretty suspenseful. Is it happening? We finally have an 18-19 progression plan. Excellent. That, we are on the superintendent's report. Perfect.
So as we all know, today was the official observance of Veterans Day, and so I just want to thank all of our veterans, those who have served and who are serving today for your service. All across the district, we've been able to celebrate our veterans, and I know there was a lot of programs on Friday as well as today, and so just appreciate all the schools and their thanks. Many heartwarming events. There was actually 2 instances where a father and then today a mother surprised their students, or their children came home early and were at the school, and so those moments are always very touching, and Ms. Mayuski had to give me her Kleenex at the last one on Friday. It was very touching, and just to see the expressions on the children's faces, they were very shocked to the point they didn't really know what to do, and so it was just, we're just so thankful that those individuals are back home safely with their families. Also, if you didn't see the paper, hopefully you did, Daily Commercial, they highlighted our Construction Academy, which is getting lots of attention because it just keeps getting better and better. But I had a chance on Friday to stop by a family's home in Yalaha. The family was actually sitting in the yard. It was an elderly couple. While our students were putting up fencing, they were building an ADA ramp on the home. And so it was just tremendous to see outpouring of support by our academy students for those families and collaboration with Habitat for Humanity. So that was exciting, and appreciate the leadership there at Leesburg High School with Mr. McCauley in the program, as well as Ms. Weitzman, who is the overseer of that grant, is just doing a tremendous job with that program. And lastly, I want to give you an update that Claremont did hold their public hearing on the renaming of the school. We talked about that. You'd asked about that previously. So their SAC committee is compiling that information and will be bringing to you shortly, in the very near future, a recommendation in regards to the naming of the new K-8 school there in Claremont. Also, did I say lastly? Because I did have
That's
one more
okay.
thing.
Go ahead.
We haven't talked about our next workshop, but I'd like to propose our next workshop on December the 3rd. I don't know if that date works for all of you. It is a Monday. We're back to Mondays on our workshop dates. 2 things that I know will be on that agenda. Remember, at 2 board meetings ago, you would ask for an update once the team committee had met. You wanted more information in regards to the team evaluation. They're meeting tomorrow, so they'll be able to bring you more information. So we'll put that on the agenda. And then we also want to talk about our referendum and some options moving forward with that, and a little bit about the budgeting process and our plan in regards to our referendum dollars. So we'd like to have those 2 items on that agenda. And I believe also Mr. Mock said he was ready to come back and bring you some information that he had researched in regards to the naming policy. So we'll have those 3 items. And and the 4th item, I knew there was a 4th one, is our legislative priorities. You wanted to wait until after the election. And so we will have our representatives from Gray Robinson at that meeting. If that date works, they will be here. They'll be giving you an update on kind of what the landscape will look like in Tallahassee, and we'll make some recommendations for your priorities. So those 4 items for December the 3rd
At 9:30?
at 9:30.
All right, are you guys okay?
Would the election be over by then?
That was my question.
That's a good question.
Let's hope so.
Oh, and we do have some letters of condolences.
Okay.
One letter to Tiffany Dixon, she's here tonight. She's a social worker in Region 1, and Donald Dixon, her husband, the assistant principal at Carver Middle School. They lost their grandmother, Lorraine Glenke. I don't know that I said that correctly. Daphne Samuel Allen is the mother and mother-in-law of Peter Campbell, who's a teacher at Eustis High, and Natalie Campbell, who's a teacher at Eastridge Middle School. So our condolences to them and their family, and to the family of Jan Hugo, who lost a member of their family. She was a substitute. And Noelle Harris was a retired bus driver and monitor in our transportation department. So our condolences to their families.
Thank you, Superintendent. Is that all?
That is all.
Okay, Mr. Mathias.
Okay, just a couple of quick things. As the Renaissance Fair ended, have we gotten any report from Carmen at all? I tried to reach out to her. She's,
I haven't heard from her.
yeah, she was exhausted
Yeah.
on Sunday.
She's probably sleeping.
But I will say that the drunk monk and two people that just absolutely stood out to me, which was Dr. Weiskopf and me, and we did absolutely amazing. I attended Friday the boots, buckles, and badges. This was the very first gala that Sheriff Peyton Grinnell initiated in order to have a sustainable source of funding to benefit our kids and kids at risk and programs. And it was completely sold out. The district was well represented. Mr. Carr and his security team were all there, and it was very well attended. So that's all I have.
Thank you for representing us.
Mr. Mathias, you also represented us at the Speak Out event. Did you want to tell us about the lovely trophy that you brought back for us?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Speak Out event, which I brought that lovely trophy, was a few weeks ago, and Lake County was recognized as on the forefront of the safety and security. So to John Carr and to your team, you're doing an amazing job, and it was recognized. We won the award out of 9 counties in Central Florida, and so well-deserved to you guys. So that's it. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm speaking to the Lake Federation, and I was supposed to give her an update on how we're going to spend those funds, so I'll tell them they need to invite me
Next
back.
Sure, that sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Mathias. Dr. Burns?
Yes, I also wanted to thank all of the veterans who have both abroad and home who have bravely stood up for our country. We're very grateful for you. I wanted to thank everyone who volunteered and worked on the Renaissance Fair. It was really fun and busy. It was super busy, and it was a fantastic event. And it raises so much money for our kids, and they still had turkey legs on Sunday. And a special thanks to the Educational Foundation and Carmen Cullen Batt, because I know how much work that takes to put on. I will be going to the FSBA conference before our next workshop, but after Thanksgiving, so that week. And I'll report back to you guys about anything that's helpful.
All right, thank you, Dr. Burns. Mr. Bell?
Yes, I have 2 items I'd like to share, and the first is you may have seen the coffee and conversations that Commissioner Sean Parks and I put on from time to time. We've got one on this Thursday morning from 8 to 10. That's so Thursday the 15th. World-class Taekwondo in Claremont, so if you're in the area, the hours of 8 to 10, you don't stay for the whole time. It's a great opportunity to pop in, say hi to your county commissioner and your school board member, and we'll be happy to hear whatever's on your mind. And the other item is a very exciting visit I had to Eastridge Middle School this past week to check out their Avid Showcase. Boy, what a fantastic opportunity to get a glimpse into the classrooms and to see the sorts of strategies that students are using. My group was led around by a student ambassador who was just fantastic. He was a great host and brought us from room to room. I'll tell you, I think my favorite moment of the day, I think, was observing some of the philosophical chairs in action. And I thought the next time we've got a very controversial topic where we've got people on one side or the other, we should put them on 2 sides of the room and they pull out their text-based evidence and use some accountable talk. And it was spot on, 100% accountable talk. Every moment it was perfect. And let people just stand up and change sides of the room as they change their minds. And it was great. It was fun to watch. So great work going on.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Gamble. Mr. Gamble?
Just like to say thank you to Mr. Creed Wheeler and Dwayne for helping out a student at Mount Dora High School and a father that was, they went beyond their normal job that they would have to do. And they're with the Chromebooks that they're coming out, there's a lot of discussion about different things, but Dwayne is right on top of it, and he's doing a top job on it. And I appreciate what y'all did to help that student there. And anything that y'all do is great, I know. Also, Friday, I showed up at the wrong school. It's bad when they send me an email and it just says the letters TES or something of that nature there, and you go to the wrong school. So I called the school, said I'll be there about 5 minutes late, and I was only 3 minutes late. Leaving Tavares Elementary, going to Triangle for the Veterans Day ceremony. It was great. Miss Boston there put on a very good ceremony there for the veterans there. But something that kind of stood out to me, well, the chorus that performed for their school was right on. I mean, they did a melody of the different armed services, the songs, they sang it, it was beautiful. But the thing that stood out to me was afterwards that we always thank the individual as the veteran, but a wife told me, said, not my wife, but a wife told me, says, you know, my husband was in 20 years, so that means I was in 20 years also. And I thought, you know, that's right. You're a veteran as well because of all that you had to do, the things that you had to do without and all, and I respect that. So yesterday in my church service, I honored the women as well as the men, even though they may not have been, took the oath to take the service, but yet they were veterans as well. But the thing is, I do appreciate all our veterans out there, and something that, and the paper did kind of put some of it in, they didn't put it all in, but something I asked the students to do, each time you go to a restaurant or you're out in public, and you see a veteran that wears a cap that shows the ship they were on, or the armed service that they were in, or a shirt of that nature there, go up there and tell them thank you for your service. And truly, I do thank each one for their service, because we have this home of the free because of the brave that went out for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. I also had a note on here. I was able to attend Umatilla Elementary School's Veterans Day program on Thursday night that actually featured the middle school and the high school bands as well. So it was kind of a nice bring together of the entire K-12 program there. And then at Eustis Elementary School on Friday morning, and Dr. Weiskopf was there with me, and their retired principal came back. They had the fire chief, the police chief. They had a really nice attended event, and their principal spoke specifically of the veterans and of their veterans' families because of the sacrifices they made. So I think being a parent and watching those programs, it's really nice to know that our children are growing up with a respect, and that they're still teaching them the songs that we all kind of grew up with that we don't seem to hear as much anymore. So it was overwhelming at times, emotional to hear those little bitty voices singing thank you, military, for the service that they do. But it was a great job. So we appreciate the extra time and attention that goes into putting those programs on for our kids' sake and for our veterans' sake in our community. Natalie put something at my station that we have 2 board appointments that are retiring after serving multiple terms on a couple of our committees. The Sales Tax Oversight Committee, we've already done our job appointing their replacements, but William Smith and Rachel Holtzclaw are retiring, and we want to thank them for their service. It's always extra time and commitment, and we appreciate our citizens that are able to serve in those capacities for us. So we wanted to publicly thank them. And we also, I wanted to just organizationally for Tuesday night's meeting, our organizational meeting, do you guys want to give your new board appointments that evening, or would you rather wait for a workshop to rearrange some of our committees? I just wanted to get a consensus. If you wanted to take the time to do it at the organizational meeting, or would you like to bring your appointments to the workshop following to make those new appointments?
I'm gonna need to bring mine forward.
Yes.
The workshops? Okay. So I just wanted to make sure we wouldn't put that on there for the organizational meeting. Number 3.03, we have board member comment and committee appointment discussion. So we'll move that discussion to bring your appointments for those committees. And Natalie, would you mind giving us an updated list of board appointments and where we need those places to be filled and so forth? So
I would not mind having a discussion about it.
you want a discussion? Okay. So we'll leave it on as a discussion. We just won't replace those members. Mr. Campbell?
I forgot something also. Tavares hosted an event, and then also Ernie Morris hosted their 50-year anniversary for their business on a Thursday night a couple weeks ago. And Tavares High School, middle school, and elementary school was represented there at the pavilion on the lake for the Performing Arts Center, trying to find out what the citizens and the people of Tavares wanted to do. But I just wanted to do a shout out. They did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, as the evening retired, when you came out, you were attacked by blind mosquitoes. But the chorus also from Tavares High School was inside, and they sang a lot of Christmas songs, and it was just all 4 of the individuals, groups that were there did a fantastic job representing Tavares, and I thank them for that.
The last thing I have on here is I have 2 things. There's an essay contest that the Daily Commercial and Don Marks, they're all involved with this. An essay. It's about they take the winners, they take them up to Tallahassee for our legislative days, and they tour the colleges, and they meet representatives and senators. And so it's a really good essay contest. The deadline's coming up. Just a reminder for that. And Dr. Tibbetts came out of his medical procedure just fine. The superintendent saw him on Friday as well as me. We actually pulled up at the same time. We were like, what are you doing here? So we went and checked on him. So our sixth board member is doing fine. He is very disappointed about not being able to be here, you guys should know. So we want to make sure that we're remembering him and just thankful that he's coming through, and we'll see him again soon, I'm sure. We're going to adjourn because me and Mr. Gamble have a Bulldog night to go to. Umatilla High School's annual fundraiser is this evening. They're hoping to raise tons of money. So with that said, if you're not doing anything, it's $100 a ticket, but you could win $7,500. So if you're not doing anything after this, right? And you can get something to eat, and there's also other things to bid on. So, meeting adjourned.